The COVID-19 pandemic tested our health systems. It also tested our democracies. Governments exercised emergency powers on a scale unseen in peacetime. That crisis is over. The obligation to account for it is not. From the outset, the ADR was among the very few voices in Luxembourg's parliament insisting that emergency powers must be time-limited and subject to parliamentary scrutiny. We opposed the creation of a two-tier society. Today we ask for accountability in 5 areas. First, democratic oversight. Emergency powers may be necessary in a crisis. They must never become a habit of government. Parliament cannot be a spectator when fundamental freedoms are restricted. Second, proportionality. Public policy cannot be judged by intentions alone. It must be judged by results and by the damage caused along the way. Third, equality before the law. The line between persuasion and compulsion was crossed when citizens were excluded from work, from restaurants, from culture, unless they complied. Fourth, collateral damage, children's education, small businesses, the elderly in care homes. The OECD's own evaluation of Luxembourg's COVID response acknowledged serious indirect consequences: mental health deterioration, delayed care, eroded public trust. Fifth, transparency. Citizens accepted far-reaching restrictions in good faith. Too often, dissenting voices were dismissed rather than answered. Some politicians will say the measures worked. We do not deny it, but we do not judge a surgeon only by whether the patient survived. We also ask, was the intervention necessary? Was consent respected? Was the recovery properly managed? The same must apply to government. Others will say governments had to act quickly. Yes, they did. Urgency explains early mistakes. It does not justify refusing a serious review years later when the crisis has passed. That is why the ADR calls for 3 things: a formal parliamentary inquiry in Luxembourg into the proportionality and effectiveness of major COVID measures, clear constitutional safeguards for future emergency governance, and genuine civil society involvement in pandemic preparedness. The Council of Europe exists to defend democracy and the rule of law. Governments that refuse to look back cannot be trusted to lead us forward. We owe this reckoning to those who complied in good faith. We owe it to those who suffered. And we owe it to the credibility of our institutions before the next crisis comes. The lesson of COVID is not that the state must control more. The lesson is that democracy must control the state better. Thank you.